If there's a single comment down there spouting something off about Disturbed not being a real metal band, I'm going to kill a unicorn. And that is the worst crime anyone could ever commit.
Save our last goodbye. It's killing me that I won't get to hear your laughter.
Yo, what is up, beautiful people? My name is Adam Junio, and today I'm gonna be here to talk about the new Disturbed album, Immortalized. Just came out officially today. So for those of you who don't know who Disturbed is, first of all, I feel really bad for you. Second of all, they are a heavy metal band from Chicago, and they've been around for a while. Also, their last album release was 5 years ago, and then they went on a hiatus, and nobody really knew if they would ever get back together. Which is why this new album is super exciting for everybody. It was kind of a surprise album. They recorded it in secret over the past year and a bit. And just some interesting background that nobody cares about because it's my life and not yours, and why would you ever care about what I think? But Disturbed was the band that got me into heavy metal back in 2008-ish. I saw the music video for Inside the Fire, and it blew my mind. I didn't know music could be that heavy, could sound that awesome, could be that dark. It just opened a whole new realm of possibilities, and now I've just sunken into the spiraling pit of metal and hard rock and all of its different subgenres. You know what, let's just jump right into the review. How does a review work? Well, if you're not an idiot, you would know that a review works by me talking about what I liked and then disliked about the album. Okay? So, I don't know why I have to keep explaining this to you guys. Let's start off with the good. I'm gonna just start this part off by saying that every Disturbed release, I think, has been really good. I don't think I've ever met anybody that said that there's one Disturbed album, or any Disturbed album, that's just absolutely terrible. I've really honestly liked every album that they've put out. That's just my opinion though, okay? All of this is my opinion. Also, another point to consider is that Disturbed had kind of a lot of pressure to make this album good after such a long hiatus. People are gonna have such high expectations for finally a new Disturbed record, finally a new Dr. Dre record, okay? Any album that's come out after a long period of time, people are gonna have big expectations. So what's good about the album? Well, it's Disturbed, which means that they've got kind of their key things that they put into every song that they make. They've got David Draiman's voice, who I'm still saying has one of the best voices I've ever heard in any genre. It's just really unique, really powerful. He's got a huge range. He can do a lot of different kind of things with it. He can roar, he can soar, he can fly, he can growl, he can scream. It's just really intense, and it's filled with a lot of raw emotion. Of course, the guitars are good. Dan Donegan really comes out with excellent riffs and guitar solos here and there that Disturbed's been known for. And also the drums are really good. They don't really do blast beats like a lot of other metal bands do. It's kind of like you're being surrounded by percussion. It's like each individual hit is drawing your attention and kind of making this whole landscape in your head. Oh, but Adam, what about the bass? Look, I'm sorry I can't say anything about the bass. It's just not really that prominent in a lot of music, and I'm not really that good enough of a musician to really pick out all the bass lines and everything that happens in every song, especially metal songs, okay? I can tell that it's there because bass really helps kind of support the backbone of music, but it's not like I can really comment a lot on it. So back to the actual album, they take all of these kind of elements that I just talked about and they put it in each song, and then do it with a lot of good diversity. Now there are a lot of classic sounding Disturbed songs that you would instantly recognize, and they have a signature kind of sound and everything, but there are a lot of variations and songs that deviate from the Disturbed norm, and those are definitely some album highlights. Songs include You're Mine, which has kind of this interesting electronic kind of bass thumping intro that's really kind of just like groovy, dude, you know? Just like cool and bumping. And then we have the song The Light, which is really weird for Disturbed songs. It sounds very uplifting. It's still written in a minor key, but it sounds positive. It's like if Christian music was actually good, it would sound like The Light. It's probably the most different sounding Disturbed song on the record. And that's not to say that Disturbed has never written an uplifting and inspiring song before. It's just that this one is done in a different manner. It's kind of like bringing hope to the despairing and like lifting them up and making them believe in themselves again. That sounds really cheesy, but the song is really cool. And of course they did a cover of the Simon and Garfunkel classic, The Sound of Silence, which was really a cool choice for Disturbed to do. David's voice sounds really different for like the first half of the song. He really brings the intensity down and kind of just like glides his way through the song. During the second half of the song, they do bring their kind of classic Disturbed sound back to it, but still, it is very melancholy. It is very kind of toned down and sparse instrumentally. And it might be my favorite ballad that Disturbed has ever done. It's definitely my favorite cover. Is it better than the original though? Probably not. It's really hard for any cover to kind of surpass the original. We can't all be Marilyn Manson and just make every cover 100 billion times better. So yeah, those are just a few of the amazing songs. The rest of the album is pretty dope, if I can say that on a metal review. This album was dope, yo. Swag. You know what, there goes all my cred. This album is just kind of epic in scope. This album is a stadium filler. It's basically, that's just what I'm gonna say. Disturbed kind of has a way of getting you stoked on the music. Like, I just get excited listening to the new record, and any other Disturbed song for that matter. The majority of the lyrical content for the album is pretty kind of standard Disturbed. It mostly deals with like pretty kind of heavy and dark material. It's pretty aggressive sounding. Their songs deal with things like hope, despair, death, anger, hate, sadness, good and evil, and kind of the gray areas in between. Smoking weed. Wait. They've always kind of had these hard-hitting songs that kind of take pot shots at what's wrong with modern-day society. Also, kind of amidst the storm of this album, the softer moments really do shine. Of course, The Sound of Silence is good, but also there's a segment near the end of Save Our Last Goodbye that kind of tones it down, and David brings in his falsetto, and it sounds really nice and pretty, and I enjoyed listening to it. It's a good break. Time for a new segment in my reviews called Neutral Observations. Like I said, these are just neutral observations. This isn't good or bad. It's just something I noticed that was kind of interesting while listening to the record. And that point is, this record had none of this. I don't know, is that disappointing that they didn't include that like they have in all their other records? I don't know. Kind of like a signature thing that they do. But it doesn't detract in any way from this album. So it's just a neutral observation. It's just a neutral observation. Right and low. Alright, time for the bad section. Time for the down and dirty nitty gritty stuff. What went wrong? I don't know. It's really kind of hard to think of anything bad with this record. I still find Fire It Up kind of weird hearing it in context with all the other songs, because there are no other kind of lighthearted, happy songs on the record. But you know what? I've kind of come around and I enjoy the song for what it is. It's fun to listen to. Also, I'm pretty sure inevitably, after a while, there are going to be people who say that this record is not nearly as good as Down with the Sickness. But you know what? It's not fair for us to compare every single thing that Disturbed does to Down with the Sickness. That's kind of like their flagship song. Down with the Sickness is kind of in a class by itself. It's just an incredible Disturbed song. That doesn't mean that this record is bad because it doesn't have another Down with the Sickness in it. That's not really any kind of negative thing I can say. That's just something that other people are going to say. You're just like the angry boyfriend who got broken up with 5 years ago, Jerry, and you just can't move on. We're getting sick and tired of hearing about it. You need to like man up and move on with your life and listen to new Disturbed songs. Because you know what? There are plenty of other great Disturbed songs out there if you just would try looking. But other than that, there's not really anything bad I can say about the record. Am I being overly positive? I don't know. You know what, this is my review, I don't care. If you want to hear somebody say something negative about the record, just take everything I said and pretend I said the opposite. So, whatever. It's a really good album, solid effort from Disturbed. Worth it after their long hiatus. I'm really happy that you guys are back. And if you've never really listened to Disturbed before, give them a try. Even if you don't really like heavy metal that much, try it anyways. Their quality kind of surpasses the genre lines. Everybody should just enjoy good quality music, regardless of genre. That's my policy. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this review. I've done a lot of kind of music reviews in the past little while. I'm trying to put something new out, but you know what? Inspiration just hasn't struck, and people just keep releasing cool music that I feel like talking about. So, but sneaky peeky, I am trying to work on another song, maybe. Woo! Maybe another song. What? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed the video, because it really boosts my self-esteem, and every time I get a new subscriber, I feel like my existence on this planet has been kind of validated in some way. That's kind of depressing. I don't know. What do you want me to say for this outro? I don't know. I don't have to do anything for you guys. I don't have to try and subjugate myself to any of your rules. Okay, I'll turn off all my lights. I don't even care. Bad lighting? Wow. I already have bad lighting, so who cares? Yeah, we'll actually just do an entire review just like this. Spooky! Okay, see you guys later.